Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I was going to be showing you my Revenant build. This build is pretty damn amazing. I went with as much strength as I could because he really takes advantage of it. He does a ton of damage. Also, a beautiful thing is that he's basically a blend of basically Rhino, Nyx, and also Mirage, because the 4 basically works like the 4 from Mirage, which is basically throw a disco ball in the air. So I'm just gonna show you the build. I feel like this character is gonna get nerfed eventually, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I'm using corrosive projection. This is the polarity that it started off with. It started with a minus, so I figured I might as well just take advantage and use corrosive projection. That way you can get rid of their armor. So especially when you're fighting Grenier, it will just make it a hell of a lot easier to kill them. I'm using prime continuity to get some more duration. I'm losing a lot of duration with transient fortitude and also fleeting expertise. So I figured I might as well get it up a little bit. That way the 1 is a little bit easier to use. That way it's not like completely terrible where it'll just have like a 2-second duration or whatever. So it's better to have some kind of duration. With strength, I'm using a lot. So I'm using August Secrets for the ability strength, transient fortitude, intensify, power drift. Those are all damage mods, and that gets me up to 224%, as you can see right here. Really nice. So you're gonna be pumping out some serious damage with this thing. Another thing that it beefs up too is the 2, which is to get the stacks. So it's basically like you start off with about 11 stacks. That way, every time something hits you, like it gets rid of a stack, but then they also get stunned for a little bit. That gives you pretty much invincibility, similar to how Rhino's shield is, the hard skin or whatever it's called. I forgot what it was called, but you know what I'm talking about. So it basically turns you invincible while that shit is running. So it's pretty damn amazing. I'm using a redirection for defense. You don't even need a defensive ability on this character right now. I say right now because we don't know if this character is going to end up getting nerfed, because you're going to see how nasty this thing is. So I feel like things could change in the future. So I'm leaving redirection on here because he gets some crazy ass amount of shields. Look at that, 1600 on shields. Pretty damn amazing. Health is really low, so I don't bother with vitality. And you don't need quick thinking on this character because the chances of you dying is all based on if you're not running your 2. So basically, if you run the 2 all the time, you're like Rhino, completely invincible. Another thing, of course, I'm using efficiency mod, so I got fleeting, and I also got streamline for 75% right there. That's all you need. That maximizes your efficiency. That way you can spam your powers all day. And then I'm using natural talent for the cast speed. This is pretty important. This is something also that you can swap out if you like, but I like it because when the 2 expires, which is something that you can't refresh, whenever it expires, you press the 2 and you can get it cast right away, because the cast time on it is kind of long. Like he kind of does this whole like dance move thing, and it takes a little bit of time. So you're better off just going ahead and just getting natural talent. Okay, but that's pretty much the build. If you want to check out the stats real quick, we got 78% on duration, which that's good enough. I didn't put any range on this. This is the first time in history that I don't put range on a character. And it's mainly because range doesn't really factor too much into this. The 4, the way it works is it's like a little aura around you. And since you can move around while you're doing it, that's amazing on its own. You don't need range at all. So that's why I left it at just 100%. Efficiency is maximized with 175, and then strength as much as I could without putting blind rage and ruining my efficiency. So 224%. All right, so let's jump into a mission so you can see what this thing is like. He is a beast. Okay, so I just made it into Mott. I figured I might as well fight some challenging mods and mobs. And since they are all ranged, it really shows you what the 2 is like, as far as like getting them stunned and you know you're not taking any damage at all. So let's jump right into this. Let's get this started. I'm gonna kind of explain the abilities and what they do as we go, but always start with the 2, putting on that mesmer skin. That's really important. The 3 is one thing that I really never rarely use it. I only use it whenever I actually take some damage, like health damage. As you can see, they're already getting stunned. And basically on the bottom right, you'll see how many stacks I got. I got about 11 stacks. You see, they start slowly cutting down the stacks on there. So every time they get hit, they're basically taking a stack every time that happens. So once I run out, I'll just recast it again, and there we go. I'm back to invincibility, basically. You see, my shields went down, so I'm going to use my 3 to get my shields back. That's basically what it is. It sucks health, and it also sucks shields from them. So it pretty much, you can use it to just kind of get yourself back up and running if you end up losing any health. At this point, you see, he's invincible. You know, as long as you're running the 2, you're good to go. That's why I put, you know, the fast casting on there. That way you can be able to just keep it running all the time. The 1, this is something that's really good because it's almost like a sense of crowd control, because every time they shoot something, they basically tag your it and they turn them into your pet. And then if you kill them while they're your pet, they leave like a little smoke cloud like this, which is why I was considering doing range on this, because to kind of widen up the AoE radius on it. But it only goes up to about 5 meters, so it's not really a big deal. But let's say, like, watch this. I'm gonna kill this guy. You see, the cloud does 2,100 damage per second. Like, that shit is crazy. You know, and that's why that was something I was considering doing into a build, because that's some crazy ass damage. Look at this. Everything that touches that little wave does amazing damage, and it's also based on duration too. So I was considering doing some kind of ranged duration build. I tried screwing around with something like that, but it didn't really work out as good as I thought it would be. So I ended up just leaving it alone. The 4. Let's talk about the 4. You want to see what the 4 looks like? Look at this shit. What the hell just happened? You know? It's so ridiculous, the 4. And I didn't even buff it up. Like, I'm talking about, like, because you can click. You can basically use left click, which is the primary attack, basically, like to shoot. You can use that to buff it up even more, so you double the damage on it, but it'll suck up more energy as you're doing it. So let's just let me reset my shields. Let this guy reset my shields. There we go. Press 2, press 4. Here we go. Look at this shit. And you can run around while you're doing this. And look how fabulous he looks. Oh my god, he's so fabulous. Doing his little twirls. It's the most ridiculous animation I've ever seen, but it's so amazing, man. You see the little beams? It basically kind of reminds me of Mirage, because it's like throwing the disco ball in the air, but you are the disco ball, and you're kind of just running around. The only downside is you can't jump. So don't worry about jumping. Well, you can just always just uncast it, jump up in the air, do one of these numbers, you know? So it's pretty sick. Like, this thing is pretty ridiculous. It's kind of like localized on the ground. So if you did overextend it on it, it would actually just be a little bit wider. But then again, like I said before, you know, range doesn't really do too well on this character. It's not really necessary. So you don't really have to do it. But I really like the 1 because you can go ahead and, like, he basically works as like a crowd control, and he runs around just like doing this to everything. And the beautiful thing is that you can still kill him normal. It's not like the way it was with Nyx, where it's like, you know, you can't kill them, you gotta like shut it off or something. You know, that kind of blows. But I'm waiting for Vor to come out. Wait till Vor comes out of here. He's gonna get his ass whooped. Watch. Oh, there he is. Watch this shit. What the fuck? You know what I mean? What the fuck? This character is getting nerfed. I know 100% that that's not normal. You know what I mean? Like, I could see this scaling really well into endgame. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that could factor. I don't know what this is going to be like when you're fighting level 200s. But from just testing it, from doing the Samaris runs, I could totally tell that this character is definitely OP as shit. Like, this thing is really amazing. Look, nothing could ever damage me. And then if they do damage me, you know, I have a ton of shields, so that they'll just go through my shield a little bit. I can cast the 2 again. As long as I'm paying attention to the 2, I'm okay. So pretty much you're invincible with this thing. But yeah, that's the Revenant, man. Revenant is sick. Like, he's definitely getting to the point where I'm actually, this is going to be my new main, and this is all I'm going to be playing for a while. Look at this. What the fuck was that? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that was. I just killed everything. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. And I'll see you on the next one. Next one, I'm definitely gonna be doing a quick little build on his new weapon, the plasma core, or whatever it's called. That thing is pretty damn amazing too. So wait till you see that shit. But yeah, later, guys.